So before I can move along, I need to take care of the area underneath the lower mandible. And the only way that I can take care of that is with the spear and with the heel, and possibly with the right angle detail master tip, but I'd rather not have to use that. It's not as sharp as these are. Now I've talked about using the heel to do a job that you can't reach into, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. And try to get the light in better. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking upside down and backwards, and I'm having to make the same splits, but I'm pushing instead of pulling. So that's why I'm thinking upside down and backwards. And I can use the heel to split things up. You have to be really aware that you're not touching, at least I have to be aware that I'm not touching the breast feathers as I go in and clean this stuff up. I can pull too with the tip, which is what I'm doing right now. The challenge is making it look like everything else that was burned from another direction. Making all of these feathers at this transition point the same. It's important. Sometimes it's just a matter of making sure you get texture into some of these hard to see areas. So far this has been the hardest one for me to get into view for you all to see. That's one of the bigger challenges of carving a single piece of, carving from a single piece of wood. It's getting into those places and planning your design so you'll be able to don't want to bite off more than we can chew when it comes to being able to achieve the pose we've chosen. Alright, so I'm going to start with the second pass on these breast feathers. And all I'm doing on the second pass is I'm making sure I brought that burn line all the way down to the edge of the feather, to that outer edge. I'm letting my tool fall into the initial burn line that I made, and if need be, I'm adding another line because maybe I didn't. Put enough lines in there. Working quickly. So that's what I'm coming back to do and to look for. You know, right here I hadn't brought the blade all the way up to the feather on top. So that's what I'm catching up here. Otherwise that could be a source of shine after after I seal and paint it. I don't want any. It's hard enough to get past the shine anyway, so basically I'm just turn this down a little bit. It's getting kind of warm in this softer wood. See, I'm not really going that deep when I'm burning these lines in. Remember, thickness of a feather. So clean this up a little bit here. I gotta put a band-aid on for my thumb. It's getting sore from heat after all these days in a row. Wood burning. I want to bring that all the way through to the end of that feather. You can kind of glide in on the already laid in barb to get up to that top of that, or the bottom edge of the other feather above it. So what I'll do is I'll go through on my second pass all the way through here. And then I'll come back and I'll add any kind of splits I might feel like I need to add. And the thing with splits though is you can add way too many, and the only way that would happen is if the bird were dead.